Hello, I'm Jennifer from EntryLevel, and EntryLevel helps you learn and get experience so that you can get hired. We have 6-week online courses in product management, growth marketing, data analysis, and so much more. Today, I'm joined by Osfield, one of EntryLevel's previous students. Osfield, your startup sounds really cool, and you said that you applied almost everything that you learned to your startup. So I'm very excited to hear about that. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. My name is Osfield Gaga. I am the founder of Wavia, which is a tool for appointment management for salons, barbershops, and businesses in the beauty industry. So, yeah, I am working as a founder for my startup as a side project. I'm actually an electrical engineer. I work full time, but I also work on my startup. So, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to share what I have learned, and if I can help anyone else in their journey, I'll be very happy to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. Let me just say your startup name sounds really cool. I love it. I'm excited to hear more about it. Um, so let's jump right into the first question I have for you, which is, can you
All right.
tell me your story? Like, what was your learning journey like from when you first started learning to the end?
Okay, so when I first started learning, it goes back a while back because I started learning about mobile development like 6 years ago, 2016. That's what, yeah, 7 years ago actually. And I got interested in it, and I just, I had a computer, I had internet at home, I could easily do stuff. I created a lot of stuff. I made games with Unity, I made apps with Google, what's the name? Android Studio. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I got very interested into design, more like UI design, UX design. So I went into that. I took the Google certification, the Google UX certification. I didn't finish it though. I'm guilty of that, but I took most of the courses. And that's exactly when I started working with Wavia. So the whole Wavia thing started with my roommates. During COVID, it was very difficult to find barbers, and the only barber that was available had a huge queue. So we are like, okay, no, we can't be doing that. We decided to start working on it just like that as a side project. And before I realized, it became much bigger because now we have like 5 people working in the team. But yeah, that was in 2020. I started as a UX designer. I worked on most of the designs of the apps. I did actually all the designs of the apps when I think about it. And yeah, I tried learning as much as I could, especially when it came to the UX stuff. It was very, very difficult. I wish I had entry level back then though, but it was very, very difficult. But I still powered through, and then well, we were able to do something. After some time, we got the first app, like a mobile app. We started with Android, and gradually we went through iOS because developing iOS is kind of difficult because you have to pay a lot of things. And then we went through where we have a web app now. So you see, it was gradual, gradual, gradual. So I was still the UX designer. After some time, we were short on developers. I knew how to code. I joined in the dev team. I actually started leading the dev team, which was double the work because I was leading the dev team. I was also leading the design. But yeah, and that's a very high level roadmap that we've had so far. Recently, it was in May or June, I started working as the product manager for Wavia. Actually, I'm more like the CEO because I do most of the things, but I'm actually the product manager for the whole thing. I'm over doing almost everything, even including marketing sometimes. But I'm trying to like do as much as I can to you know learn things and apply them into the startup and learn more, apply more, which led me to entry level. And yeah, yeah.
Wait, how did you find out about EntryLevel?
I was scrolling through Instagram and I just saw one of your posts. It was on my explore page, and at first I was like, "Whoa, wait! You are telling me that I can break into tech in 6 weeks?" I was very skeptical, if I'm being honest. So it's cheap. I just decided to pay for it. I mean, it's affordable, so I just paid for it. Um, I just paid for it. I just tried out, and I saw that hey, there's actually a lot of value. Yeah.
So what do you think of the 6 week promise now?
Uh, it's a promise. It's not impossible. I wouldn't say it's like lies, but it takes more than 6 weeks to break into tech. If I'm giving you my experience, well, it took me a couple of months just to learn how to code and how to organize teams and everything. So I can imagine that 6 weeks is good to get started. I mean, one course is 6 weeks, but it's not the whole curriculum of the project manager or the UX designer that is 6 weeks. There's 1 and 2. I believe you guys will come up with 3 and 4 and so on. Well, yeah, it's not just 6 weeks. 6 weeks is a good, it's getting started, it's getting to know things. In 6 weeks, I was able to learn so many things that I said I applied almost everything in our workflow, which is great. In 6 weeks, it's very great if you're able to do that in 6 weeks. So yeah, I think it's not a lie, it's a good promise. And anyone who work towards it can actually achieve it. That's not impossible.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try new ads where it says like breaking or like something about 6 weeks as a beginner because it's a good way to get started,
Yeah.
but maybe not land a job. But I heard some students actually landed jobs right after. So they were very good. I interviewed them as well. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to hear more about the things that you applied to your startup. Did you like learn it in the module and then apply it immediately, or did you like wait until the end of the
No.
course to apply it?
Oh no, I didn't apply immediately. I waited till the end of the course because, well, to me, it was not just like individual concepts, it was a whole block of things at once. So you see, when you go from the ideation to the affinity map to the research, all of that, to me, that is one flow. Okay. So I didn't even think about applying it to the startup right away. I was just trying to learn more about how to get organized and everything. But at the end of the course, I realized that well, this thing can actually be literally I can just plug and play it into our workflow. So I mean, we are using Jira for work management. So I don't know if you know in Jira you can create custom workflows. So I literally created a custom workflow using all the different steps that were I used in the portfolio. So I wish I could show it to you, but I don't have my laptop right now. It's like those different boards and everything, and all of them are going through that process, and that's exactly what we are doing. So whenever we have an idea, whenever we have a feature to add or anything anything new, we just go through that whole process. Just like that. It just works very well. It's very fast, very easy to understand. My team has never had an issue with that before.
Oh, I think I did the opposite of you, where I was working on my own startup too before I joined EntryLevel, and I took the product management course, but I applied it immediately. So, but that startup I ended up leaving, so maybe I should have waited till the end.
Uh, well, it's
Um,
one way of doing things. I mean, it
yeah.
works. I like to see the big picture before implementing because it's not a small thing. It's actually a big thing to implement such a big workflow. I had some
Yeah.
friction at first, but it's working now, so it's fine.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. What are your plans? Like you said, after EntryLevel, you started applying it to your startup. Um, what about after that? Like, what are your plans for your startup now?
Right now we've built every feature we need. We've had the MVP and everything. We're able to test it a bit, so it's fine. We are right in the marketing phase right now. So we slow down on dev and we are pushing more on marketing right now. So of course that's not really the product management from entry level does not really apply to that, but it has led me to that place. So right now we are just getting more people. We are just sharing, getting trying to get shout outs and everything, trying to get people to know about it because it's very manual. Like you have to interact with people a lot. You have to go to talk to people. Sometimes I literally have to go and get my haircut over there to start talking to them about it. Like I've spent so much money just getting haircuts left and right in the country. But yeah, that's my plan for now. Later on, of course, I hope we grow bigger. I hope we can get more things, more people using the app. If I can get another entry-level course that can help me, then why not? It helped me once, and why not the second time?
Oh, actually, you haven't taken PM level 2 yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because
Unfortunately, I haven't had time.
yeah, because PM level 2, the portfolio project has a go-to-market strategy. I think that's like marketing related. It has stuff on pirate metrics and everything. And then we also have the growth marketing course. I made that one with our CEO and founder. And but PM level 2 might be better for you. But growth marketing is more like experimenting the whole marketing funnel and stuff. I'll send you the details on Discord later. You're active in the
I do
Discord,
that a lot.
right?
I do that a lot. So yeah, that I definitely wanted to take PM2. As I told you, I have two jobs basically. It's very difficult to get time to sit down and do things like that. I could complete PM1 because I was on break. I had a lot of time on my hands. I definitely plan on taking PM2. I just haven't had time yet. So
Yeah.
you'll see my name again over there. Don't worry.
No worries. That's actually another question I had for you because you seem very busy. How did you make time for the PM level 1 course?
How did I make time? That's a very good question because I have no idea. To be very frank, it I was able to manage my time well enough. The PM course is not that difficult, at least to me. It's not mind breaking. It's not something that I have to like break my head over. So I was able to allocate like an hour per day, 30 minutes to an hour per day, just going through, doing my own research, reading about all the concepts. And I had like 2 or 3 weeks. Like by the time I really took it seriously, I had like an extra 2 or 3, which was more than enough to complete the course. So time was not really a problem because I was just able to allocate the time just in my schedule every day. So every day I come back from work, I just rest a bit and then I start working on PM for like an hour at most. Then I work on my startup and then that's fine. It's more than enough.
So you after you're done with the day, you learn and then you work on your startup at night?
Yeah, at night. It's mostly at night. Mostly at night that I work on my stuff.
Wow, I feel like you're a much more dedicated student than me because whenever I take an entry level course, I ignore it for like 4 weeks and I have to submit my portfolio. So then I do everything in one day. It's so stressful. I don't recommend doing that. So what you're doing is a lot wiser. Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. So my last question for you is, do you have any advice for other students, especially PM students who maybe want to work on their own startups one day?
Okay. If I have any advice, I would say work on stuff as soon as possible. Try to do things as soon as you can. I don't mean go get a job or just work on stuff. Do things that apply the knowledge that you can grow that knowledge further. It's a cycle. Like the more you learn, the more you get to know, the more you get to learn, and so on. So the first advice I would give is get to work on something. It doesn't have to be any glorious project or any huge thing. There's something you like, or if you have a friend that has a startup, just join him or her. It doesn't really matter. Get to do your own thing. If you can, try to create use cases, portfolios online, create fake products. Like as in, you get to know what you want and what you like about the thing. And I think this is more like a general advice as well. It doesn't really have to do with PM. Any course you take, just try stuff and you succeed. That's the first one. The second one, PM is very difficult. PM is very difficult. So never discard an opportunity to learn something. I've read so many books right now. I've read so many articles and books, and I get to know a bit more about the thing, and I get to apply stuff. all the time. I learned how to use Jira like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I actually dived into it. I read about it. I read a lot about work management, time management. There are so many concepts within PM that are you're not necessarily going to learn them in one place. So you have to be very open-minded about going out there and doing research. Whenever you see something you don't understand, literally just Google it. It can go a very long way. And yeah, that open-mindedness is very important because you can be a very dedicated person, but if you're not willing to learn stuff, it may be very difficult for you to achieve a lot of things. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have in mind for now. And if you have the third one, if you have a startup idea, work on it. Startups are very difficult, they are very long, but the journey, the learning is incredible. It's crazy. If you have an idea, go to get together with your friends or whoever, build stuff. It doesn't have to be a glorious thing. It's an MVP. Come on, 3 features, get it working. And that's it.
That's very good
That's
advice.
all for me.
I noticed some things that you say that are very common to all the other super cool students I've interviewed. The first one is applying what you learn. You can't just read and learn, but you have to actually apply it so that you remember it better. Or like, I feel like you learn better when you apply things. And then the
Yeah,
second
definitely.
thing is always to learn. They're not just learning on one place, they're learning in multiple places, but I think a lot of beginners get overwhelmed because they don't know what's the right place to learn. They don't know how to get started. So, do you have any recommendations for how people can start?
Okay, the thing about the right place to learn is true. It's almost like, oh, there are so many things out there. Am I learning from the right place? And to that, I would say there is not really a wrong place to learn. There is a plethora of information out there, yes, and it can be very quickly overwhelming, very, very quickly overwhelming when you get so many information that it's basically the same thing, but formulated in so many different ways. So the first advice I can give about that is if you find one place that gives you the value you need, you will never have one place giving you 100% of the knowledge. Just keep that in mind. I think if you go from there, you never have issues. You can never have the 100% of all the knowledge from one place, but if you stick to one place, you can.
Oh, I think your internet cut off a little bit. But to summarize, I'm going to guess that you are going to say focus on that one place where you get value, start there, but then go in with the mindset that you're not going to get everything from there, so you can always expand and research elsewhere later.
Sure, 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 sure.
Okay, we're back. You were talking
All
about
right.
the place that gives you knowledge and finding that one place to start.
Yeah, so as I was saying, when it comes to learning, simply find one place, stick to it, be faithful to it, learn from it. If there's a community, well, even better, they can give you more knowledge, more insight. And yeah, that's why I like entry level actually, because it's one place that has the knowledge, it has a community, it links you to different places, other places where you can learn things from. And that's just great. And with time, as you gain experience, it will naturally come to you how to, dissect information, take this from here, that from here, merge it. It's just a matter of experience. But don't be afraid to just stick to one thing for now. Get used to it, and it will come naturally. It will just come naturally, I believe so.
Mm. That's really good advice. I heard a lot of people say they liked the community of entry level and also the fact that you're kind of forced to apply everything you learn in the portfolio project. So
Yeah.
when I did my product management course, I made my startup my portfolio project, so I immediately applied everything. But I assume you did like your own separate portfolio, and then you did kind of the same thing for your startup?
Yes, what I did, well, I learned separately from my startup. I did it. I chose Kuda, the finance app. So I did everything for that, just to, get the whole thing. And then afterwards, when I looked at the whole curriculum and the whole portfolio I made, I was able to just choose things from there and create my own templates, my own PM template, if you want, for the startup. So whenever we have a feature or something, we just copy that template, literally fill everything. The knowledge is there, everything is there, and the output is a user story anyways. So when we get the user stories, now that goes to the design team, and then the cycle goes until the end of the sprints. So yeah, the entry level portfolio has been a workflow for me. I use it as a workflow in our process. So we go through all these different steps, with the exception of some of them, depending on what you are building, we have to adapt. We go through them. The output is the user story. The design team takes the user story, creates the design, dev team, and so on. And then it goes. So you see, it's a workflow from the product design, actual designing, dev, output, and we just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I like creating workflows like that. That just makes things simpler for me and for my team.
Yeah, I think having templates also really helps with making things easier, especially if you start to get overwhelmed by how much there is to do. When there's a template and a roadmap, an example, it helps a lot.
Oh yes, there's always a lot of things to do. So if you can make a template out of something, just do it and simply reuse it when you need. It will make your life easier.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's another reason why I love working at entry level. And I love our courses, even though like I work here and I'm kind of biased. But I do hear a lot of students say the same things I do, so it's not just me saying it. But that brings us to the end of this call. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Osfield. If you want to like share your LinkedIn, I'm gonna put it in the website, so everything will be there. Do
All
you
right.
want to promote your startup as well? Like any website or any asks you have from our audience?
Well, we have a website, so you guys should check it out. We have an Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We have most of the social apps. So yeah, I'm definitely promoting that. I would love if you could share it around. That would really, really, really help me. And yeah, that's basically it for me.
Perfect. I'll grab the links from you and I'll put it on our website. And again, our website
All
is
right.
entrylevel.net. There's all of our available courses are there, including the product management course that Osvia took. So again, that's entrylevel.net. That's all for today. Any parting words or like pieces of advice you want to share, or is that everything?
Parting words, just goodbye and keep learning and keep applying. You will do great things. I'm sure you guys will do a lot of great things. And I hope to be there to witness it as well. That would be cool.
Yeah, I feel like if people are listening to this, we already know they're gonna be like super ambitious, driven learners. So I'm sure everyone would do great things. Yeah, so thanks
I
for
hope
listening.
so.
Yeah, well, I know so. You gotta
Thanks
have
for
that
having
confidence.
me. Thanks so
Um,
much for having me. Thanks
yeah,
for
of
your time.
course. Yeah. Okay, so thanks everyone. Good luck on your learning.
Bye.